Welcome back, everyone, to Let's Play Rule the Waves as the United States of America, episode number 2. So I have renamed all the ships. All the ships have been renamed. The Sandwich class is going to stay. Someone pointed out very nicely that the Sandwich can be a reference to the East Coast city Sandwich with a WH. So I will eventually rename this class, but I have to edit the ship file itself. So I'm not going to do that until the end of this episode. So what we'll do is we'll push on with all the basic stuff we want to get done, which is probably going to involve adjusting all our research and all that this episode. It's going to be a bit close. I don't think we'll be able to afford any new ships anytime soon, and if we can afford some ships, I'm definitely going to want to start getting some minesweepers. So yeah, okay, so let's start off by changing our research before we advance the turn even 1 month. We definitely want high naval guns. We definitely want high ship design and fire control. Let's kind of think about the other stuff we might want. I really wish I knew where turrets and gun mountings is probably where superimposed turrets are. I would really like to get triple turrets quick as well. So let's do that. I would say that even at the cost of some of the armor and hull developments, which just save you a bit of weight, but definitely take this up to 10% before I forget. Fleet tactics, now again, this is all relative, so if I put everything on high, it's the same as putting everything on low. I have 10% of the budget, and then that's a fixed amount of money, and where the money is actually divided among these categories, like I said, is all just relative. So it's an even split if everyone's medium or high or low. I think we're going to go very low on submarines, even though I think the United States can use them pretty well, especially when you're not actually engaging in another nation's home port. It's a nice way, to actually blockade them. You do it by submarine instead of by, your physical fleet presence. Torpedo technology, AP, subdivision and damage control, we're going to leave on medium. I think we are going to be okay just as is. Fleet tactics, maybe. We'll put ASW on. I don't know, actually. I was going to put it on low, but okay. It's hard to say what actually deserves to go on low. Alright, yeah, we'll put, besides submarines, we'll put ASW on low. We'll just hopefully win wars with our minesweeper presence instead of our technology. And I don't know about putting fleet tactics on low. I'll do it. I can't remember if there's anything useful we need in there. A lot of this stuff reduces penalties for firing at the same ship, which can be useful, right? So we'll see how this goes, actually. Yeah. And light forces and torpedo warfare, torpedo technology, I think it's a good decision to leave those on at least medium. Okay, so that's good. We're done with research. The training I'm not going to affect until we get closer to war. I will, as always, not change any of this other stuff. I have some ideas about how it would be improved, but it's, and this is really funny coming from me, it's actually too much micromanagement for me. Okay. So we want to make sure we're on captain's mode. Somebody asked me about just kind of was a little disappointed by not doing rear admiral's mode because of the micromanagement. I don't see a huge difference between rear admiral's mode and captain's mode in terms of micromanagement, because when ships go out of my range and they go to AI control, I end up still trying to do that cheaty thing where you can control them beyond the range. So unless I dedicated myself to not doing that when the ships weren't out of range, I'm still trying to control the ships when they're out of range, but it's just more difficult basically. So in this sense, it doesn't really change anything. It does lower the points, so it makes the game a little bit harder. But the main advantage it gets is that it removes the frustration of launching torpedoes. So this is, I would say, even if I still couldn't control ships when they move out of the range of my flagship, I'd be fine with that. if I could get them to launch torpedoes, because the AI has such an advantage, it seems, when you play on anything but captain's mode launching torpedoes. It's just like my only way of fighting back against that. So it won't be as necessary. Obviously, I've won as the US many times, and you don't need that, but it goes back to the original point I was actually saying, that the farther ahead we get, the better we play in the beginning of the game, the more money we're making, the more budget we have, etc. The more I can fool around with weird designs, and the more ships I can get for ship name purposes. Now, that said, we actually are short on ship names, especially for battleships and like cruisers. So you can see that I have 2 armored cruisers ready to go, a battleship, the Rushmore. This was actually asked to be a light cruiser, but the person said that they'll take any ship class, so I moved them over to battleship because we're actually short on those, and we're actually short on light cruisers as well. So, I mean, the stack of armored cruisers that we have, and battleships, and dreadnoughts and battle cruisers, of course, we have a large stack of those. Always we have tons of people asking for armored cruisers, battle cruisers, and dreadnoughts. Those are the top 3. But if you want to change your name, just go back to the forum. You can just go back to the same forum. It'll still be in the video description, or maybe I'll pin it again. You can just change your ship type to whatever you want. Okay, so let's actually advance a turn. But before I do that, I have this nagging feeling I'm forgetting something. We don't really have enough money to do anything, so I guess... Yeah, I guess we just have to do this. Well, one thing we could do is, we're going to have fair quality ships anyways. Why don't we just put everyone in reserve? Let's put everyone, but our mines, well, who cares? Everyone, right? Everyone on reserve fleet. Oh, right, okay. But you can't go, that's fine. And that was actually a huge change. Our monthly balance is no longer negative. So, really good. Okay, so people are laying down new ships. I don't know why you wouldn't do it when the ships are half cost, but nothing of interest to us there. Oh, my intelligence. Well, we don't need intelligence on anybody just yet. More funding for the Navy. I'm pretty happy with that. Actually, it looks like it was just a one-time bonus, not a yearly budget increase. I don't know exactly what the yearly budget was, but I saw the funds go up, but not the monthly balance. So I guess that was a one-time thing. Let's look at the almanac real fast so we get a state of affairs for everyone. Good lord, it's 325,000. Wow, that's further ahead than I thought. I thought it should be like 28 to 40, the ratio. Is that the ratio? I mean, double this is 360. They're almost double. Huh. It's a little surprising to me. Now we are far ahead of everyone else, as we would expect. Looks like we have 9 compared to 12. Let's just mainly compare ourselves to the British, knowing that we should be, sufficiently far ahead, or at least even with anyone else on something. So we have 2 armored cruisers compared to 12, 4 light cruisers. I mean, I say this, but we're way behind in light cruisers. Anyone. I actually don't have enough names. So, and destroyers, in my opinion, they're all wasting their money on those. So, we're doing really well in terms of battleships. So it looks like our battleship count is going to be enough, and maybe I will move the... What was that ship? The Rushmore might be swapped back over to a light cruiser, which I think is what it originally asked for. I just left it there as a backup because there's no other battleships. Pre-war battleships. There's no more of them on the list. It's tons of dreadnoughts and battle cruisers remain. Okay, so let's do the next month. I think so. We are impressed by their well-built and advanced ships. We are happy to have hosted these fine, whatever. These rust buckets aren't different. Well, prestige and tension is actually pretty good in the beginning, so we will definitely do that. Provoking something with the French. And, the French is a great target of opportunity for us, both with ships in the Caribbean and ships in colonies in the Caribbean and colonies in Southeast Asia, so that's something to consider, is they'd be a good first opponent if we could pounce on that. Shooting competition, let's do it. And Manila Bay, which happens to be our ship in Southeast Asia, that's perfect. That's the one on active fleet. It's amazing. Perfect choice for a victor. Slight monthly balance, doing okay. Now, do we want to change any coastal fortifications? Looks like we have Gulf Coast, Southeast Seaboard, Eastern, and Southeast. So these are all East Coast, and I think Gulf Coast would probably be Caribbean. Maybe, yeah, I think so. So we could spend a little bit of money getting some. I don't know how much the cost is. What if I, yeah, what if I improve fortifications here? 10-inch guns? Even 6-inch guns is something. Monthly build cost is 400,000. I think we can handle that. Maintenance cost is pretty small, so let's do it. Let's do at least one there. Okay, very good. Just some commissioning of ships. We're watching tensions with France, it turns out, increasing. 6 more months until we can build our docks back up again. We do need to have enough money to do that. Okay, we have a small budget increase. I also want to get some fortifications at the Philippines. So it just makes sense. I'll probably want 2 6-inch at each. Okay, gradual rate of fire increase. That's fantastic. Very good. I saw a battleship, a British battleship called the Hood. Decatur is commissioned to the Navy. Ah, okay. Well, good thing we're getting some fire control stuff. We might need it pretty soon. Now the question is, if we go to war, we need to we have to actually plan ahead a bit because we don't have the Panama Canal yet. What was it, 1911 or so? I don't remember exactly when, but right now we can't use it because it doesn't exist. It looks like France is only keeping 1 battleship and 3 armored cruisers there. 7, so it has 5 more to go. Assuming it doesn't go up by more than 1 a month, we still have a little bit of time, so I'm going to wait. Okay, good. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We'll definitely be buying everything. Wow, okay. Secondary guns heavier than 7 inches and casemates or single turrets. This, did we already... I don't remember if we were trying to use this. I don't think we were trying to use this yet. No, I don't think so. This basically allows us to do the semi-dreadnought, where we can have like 2 12-inch guns and then a whole bunch of 10-inch guns, which, as we saw from the Historical Gamer in my collaborative series with them, him and XTRG, they worked pretty well. So that's something to consider. Tensions dropped. Okay, docks completed. So I think we have enough money now that I'm going to start my intel efforts, and we'll start them high against the people who I think will be the leaders in research. So, I mean, I guess I could do it against the Germans as well. It doesn't cost that much, and it might net us something. Okay. Make the national hero. We should send a diplomatic note. I would also like to go to war against Japan. That's a good option, in my opinion. It's not much you can gain from them, but let's build another 6-inch here. Let's build another 6-inch in the Caribbean. What's our best based here? Guantanamo, no, that's not. Is 50, value 1, value 5, and 20. Okay, well, let's build it at Puerto Rico then. So we're building those 2, and let's also build another one, because these just don't get worse as the game goes on, so you might as well build them in the beginning. Get another one at the Philippines. So we'll have 2 at the Philippines, 2 in Western USA, and we'll have 1 at least in Puerto Rico now. That's good. And we have plenty of money left, so it's time to get building. And I'm going to go with another armored cruiser. Basically, kind of convinced to do this because we have so many people wanting. And it looks like Benedict Arnold is the next. And you know what? I'll just get 2 more because we have the money to do it. And I have exactly 2 names ready. Okay, another O'Bannon. Great. So there we go. And I can erase these 2. Well, let me not do that because I need to make sure they're checked off the list. But I think that means this, unless I get another battleship, which if we look at this almanac again, I'm doing pretty good in terms of battleships. We're behind the British, but they're like practically double our budget, for crying out loud. So we should really get armored cruisers first and then light cruisers. Definitely light cruisers. Yeah, definitely light cruisers. Let's get some more light cruisers then. I can't even name these, but hopefully they just aren't completed until next turn. So if you would like to be a light cruiser, feel free to either switch your name, or if you haven't added your name to the list, go ahead and do so. Tensions, let's say when they get back to 8, we'll probably put everyone onto active fleet and we'll send our battleships over. Interested in buying. So the Russians I don't care about. Not that I care too much about money, but they've stolen ship design stuff from us. Diplomatic note. Yeah. Leave it one more time. The Village People have been commissioned. Village People it's a strange name, but it's from Tomislav, one of my longest lasting viewers. He's been around since probably the 2nd series. And it's always been fun interacting with him in the comments, so he gets a pass. The president floats the idea of trying to improve relations with France. I don't think this is a good idea. Let's take the prestige. We're already up to 21. That's quite nice. And it didn't affect tensions either, so it was just kind of a win-win. Destroyers of 600 tons. We already have that. That's pretty quick. We still have 1 million that we're saving up right now. I mean, what are we going to do with this? Let's be proactive. One thing we could do is build dock sizes. How about that? That doesn't take maintenance, though. I might actually want to build fortifications in Maine if we go to war with the British. So we'll do that. And I don't think we'll have fights in Hawaii or Eastern. It'll usually be along this coast, so I think the western ones are the best. And we usually don't fight by Guam. It's usually by the Philippines, so we'll leave those. Okay, yeah, I think we're set in terms of coastal fortifications. Oh, yes, I know what I was almost forgetting to do, and that was build a buttload of minesweepers. Yep, we're going to want a lot. We're a little bit negative. Let's see if we can squeeze out. I mean, they only take 6 months. Let's get another 6. Okay, that should be fine. Disarmament Conference. We are currently not building any battleships. 1, 4. Let's do this. Let's absolutely do this. Ah, darn it. No effect. It was a roll of the dice and it was negative for us. Okay, so somebody else is building 14 6-inch guns. Damn, this is a pretty good... Oh, this is an armored cruiser. Our light cruiser is actually pretty decent. It might be able to take this out. It has 8-inch guns. This only has 6-inch guns, but they're... So we'll be able to penetrate their armor, maybe. But they'll definitely be able to penetrate ours. Yeah, maybe they can take us out. I mean, at 12,200 tons, you'd expect it to win. It just has a lot more armor. If we have enough of our light cruisers, we could take it on, but... Okay, we finished those coastal batteries. Very good. Yes, definitely always take technology. Even if it's for submarines. The U.S. never declines technology. Oh, I have to get a new mouse pad. This one's actually hurting my wrist. I mean, how can a mouse pad hurt your wrist, you ask? Good question. It's because the mouse doesn't move very well on it. So let me try to do it this way. Tilt everything a little bit. Maybe this will help. Okay, our scientists report a dead end with active mine warfare. Not a huge concern. Let's keep going. Okay. This is one where we're just going to use enter. Okay. National hero. Machinery. Okay. It's not really taking an effect on the tensions. Ah, I didn't see what that was. Darn it. We should support the rebels to create trouble. Yes. Yes. Double bottom is very good to get. Well, we're at 8. We'll wait till 9 before we call this the turnover point. Could be our first war. Early coastal submarines. Well, we could. Ah, yes, finally. France. Japan or France? We would destroy Japan. We certainly would win. But they only have one. Yeah, they only have one that we could take. So let's go with France. And now it's really going to be crucial that we start getting everyone into active fleet. I think everyone's there. And now let's start moving some of our ships out. So the Eagle, the Aptos, the Georgia will make their way over to Southeast Asia. And they're going to do so with a very small complement of light cruisers because I just simply cannot afford to send too many. But this might be where the main battles happen anyway. So we'll move some with them. I imagine that the main battles will happen in Southeast Asia, but then also in the Caribbean. And we should be okay on the East Coast, I imagine. Let's buy a few more minesweepers as well, because we get to keep them for the rest of the game, assuming we pay attention enough. Yeah, these are built in 1901, so they'll be okay until like 1909. They're okay for now, at least. I like it. I think we're in good shape. Okay, we're moving to Northern Europe. The Mediterranean. Oh, we're going through the Mediterranean. Okay, got it. The Suez Canal. That's perfectly acceptable. I think we might even want to get another... Let's send the village people to Southeast Asia as well. Which seems to make so much sense in a very bizarre way. Anyway. Oh wow, South Korea has now declared independence. This is both good and bad. Actually, is South Korea... Let's look at the map. Is South Korea something you can take? Yeah, its value is 6. We could have taken it. So now there's only one thing that Japan really has to offer. This makes Japan not a very juicy target for a war, unfortunately. Kind of sealed our own fate. But anyways, let's keep building up the dock size. We'll sell the Russians this because they're just going to steal it from us anyway. Tensions are only at 10. It's not... And God, I have to open my recording software real fast. I apologize. I don't know how long I've been recording for. Let's take a look. 23. So 24, let's call it 10:05, 23, 24. I can go, yeah, 10, 15 more minutes. Good. I missed what this message was. Nothing. All right, push. We could get into war. This could be our first war in episode number 2. Be pretty quick. Ah, interesting. If we send an expeditionary force, I think we gotta do this. Wow. Okay. Oh, things happened very, very quickly there. Convoy defense. Our air forces are good. They declined. Okay, so this is it. We're war with France. It seems like we go to war with France so often. So we were able to get North Korea out of this, which is nice. Doesn't mean that we have... it does. We got it. So North Korea is actually pretty pretty sizable place. So let's get the Humboldt over redeployed. We're actually going to deploy her to Southeast Asia, and what I'll do is I'll send up the village people will move to Northeast Asia. And I'll put them, I'm just going to let the foreign tonnage suffer this turn. Because if you do the trick where you put somebody on foreign stations and then you take them off, they still move around as if they're on foreign stations. So let's also start to move some of our other ships down. And I will take the O'Bannon herself as well. Yeah, we'll take a whole bunch of people down into the Caribbean. See if we can wrestle up a colony or two from the French. All of my minesweepers will go to Coastal Patrol. 19, we only need 10. And we're ahead in the war. What do you know? Okay, so this will be fun. I hope. I hope we do well. Yeah, just continue once. Who cares? What do I want to set any raiders? I didn't set any raiders yet. Let's accept this. Okay, it's a fight. Okay, it's our light cruisers versus somebody. I mean, I don't know who. And here we go. We're off. Oh, okay. I was like, what? No, but those are our friendlies. This is this one, so let's go squad max. I'm pretty sure we're stronger than them unless it's a armored cruiser, and if it's 2 versus 1, maybe we can still take them. It's a light cruiser. Let's just go red. We have a speed of 23. We should have an advantage. Yes. Let's see what we're up against here. We should have looked at the almanac to see what the French ships have at all, like what their fleet consists of, but this is definitely a ship we should just destroy. So 2.5, 2, 2, 6. The 6 is pretty good, but again, I don't think conning tower matters as much anymore. I keep thinking, every time I play, I just feel like the significance of the conning tower is less than I thought. And that's happened in several step downs already. But we're at 3, 2, 2, 4, so less conning tower, more belt, and those 8-inch guns. I mean, that's going to be very difficult. In fact, we can go head on because we do have those 2 guns in the front, right? Might as well just chase this thing. I think it was slower. 22 knots. Yep. Only 5,000 tons. So she's giving us the wind advantage anyway. Let's try to take advantage of that. 1 hit already. So if she doesn't turn, well, before she turned, she probably was only firing 1, maybe 2. This is dangerous. Once she turns, our broadside really isn't much to speak of. Because again, we're basically like the same dual turret design as most of our battleships. I'm hoping that, I think we have a lot of ammo on these ships. Yeah, that is a lot of ammo. So hopefully we can, let's try to get close. Let's just go for it. We risk a torpedo, but not that badly. She doesn't have the angle to fire a torpedo, and we're definitely catching up. Okay, we are close enough that we can still see her. All right. This has got to be, come on. We got to be hidden. It's just really hard to do anything, I guess. We're almost in torpedo range. Let's just go into ramming speed and board them directly. 8-inch hits should count for something. We're practically going to board them. Ramming speed. Okay, let's see what happens. Can I launch torpedoes? I didn't really consider this. No. Oh, there it is. That's the one I was looking for. Actually, we started hitting with our... I forgot I had 3-inch guns on this, but I do. So we hit with our 3-inch guns. Ah, there we go. Our 8-inch guns also hit twice. So we're hitting with a mix. That is nice. So lots of movement to try to keep any torpedoes from being launched. And then we're just going to kind of sit outside of torpedo range and hopefully wear her down. Thought I saw some fire going on there, but nope. There's some hits. There she blows. The white whale. Côte Lagon. Now, is she heading to port? In theory, it looks like she's heading to, well, there's no base nearby. So we'll go ahead and run this forward. We're definitely getting the better of her. Catch up again. Duck off. High enough that we don't, take damage. Okay, now is about the time where we should be launching torpedoes. Let's try to come. This is a little risky. Let's fire torpedoes with the Hudson. We expended one? Oh, it's probably destroyed. Did we take a hit and get that destroyed? Wait, how did we fire one? Oh, she did it by herself. Oh, she did it already. Okay, well, they're doing it on their own. I mean, this is also fine. We can do it this way. Okay, now the Ballantine will be in good shape to launch hers. It doesn't matter. She's going to sink anyway, but let's just do it for good measure so you can hear the wonderful sound. Boom. It's loud on my system even. Looks good. There it is. Just saves us a little bit of time. So that was good. They didn't make any progress really. They did light damage. We sank a ship. This is a really good sign for our first engagement. And Frosty, who recommended this ship design, have to say it seems to be a really good design. People have commented that they've seen this 8-inch gun light cruiser design before and it's very effective. We're just finding this out. I'm just finding this out for the first time, so it's news to me. But yeah, I would say that I agree. Now, would things have gone any differently with 6-inch guns? I don't think so. Especially because they only had a 5-side broadside. I usually get a 6, sometimes even a 7-sided broadside. So I think we would have been okay either way. But I imagine those 8-inch guns sped the victory out a fair amount. Yeah, that's my guess. We have a lot of budget, so what is it time for? Maybe even another? Let's get another armored cruiser. I don't know the name, so this one I'll have to go and look up a name for, but get one more, and we'll ride this 1 million along with us for a bit. Another convoy defense. I don't think that they'll accept. They don't. And 2 million, huh? Algiers. Okay, so it's a French ship thing. Don't know what's going on here. Huh. I haven't seen this bug until 1.34 beta 1, which is the final version basically of the game. So it's unfortunate that it was introduced in 1.34, but okay. They're sinking a few things. If we want, well, let's take a look at how close we are to actually invading. They have a battleship, an armored cruiser, so we're nowhere near enough points in France. We could put more pressure. I think we should be getting more battleships. Now, we definitely have enough to invade in the Caribbean. And do they have anything here? A destroyer? Let's move more stuff out. So let's move this. And Caribbean. And you're moving there. Okay. Let's move you to the Caribbean as well. So we'll leave 2 there, and we'll put another in the Caribbean to hopefully speed up any kind of invasions. We only have 2 light cruisers and 2 battleships in our home, but it's probably more than we need. It doesn't look like they're trying to invade that area. Anybody in the West Coast? An armored cruiser. Surprised that we don't need to keep any foreign stations on the West Coast, but I mean, eventually we'll probably dump our battleships into the West Coast, but in this first one we don't have enough to spread around. That's a pretty big monthly balance. Okay. How are we looking here? Wow. Total dominance. Total dominance. Looks good, looks good. And not going to be doing any invasions, but we'll just try to take some of these points in the victory if we can. Actually, the best thing is to not take any points. That scales higher, but oh, okay. Yeah, we'll take the offer. Well, it'll be the Brooklyn for now. Only the Navy can win this war. Eventually, we'll do something else. Okay, we'll still do this. The French Navy declines. I mean, we've only won the one fight. So, 3.4. We have the money to do something. I do want to save up a pretty high budget. I would like to be up to like 100 million so that when we design a new ship class, we can really drive hard in it. We can get a whole bunch at the same time. That's the ideal, is to get, whenever you get a new technology jump, then you design a new ship right away, and you just build a lot of them so that they were all built at the exact moment when the technology was the earliest. If you wait any time, then you're building ships which are more obsolete. You're better off just designing a new ship. That's my theory on it, at least. Now I can see that this video's gone like 35 minutes or so. I lost the exact count, but I also wanted to make a note about the frequency of these videos. Although I'm getting out 2 in my first week, that only makes sense to try to give the series some bite, to really dig in with it. But probably I'll only be doing 2 videos a week. I don't anticipate a high frequency of these releases. Just trying to get out basically 2 a week. We'll have probably one on Saturday, one on Wednesday. That's the idea. Those days completely arbitrary. I just picked 2 random days. They might come out. In this case, it was Friday and then a Sunday, so it could be that just as easily. But yeah, expect a lower frequency of videos for this series, especially because I'm trying to get the Two End All War series going again. So it's a good start for us. I'll call this one to a close. I do have plenty of ship names that I have to do. Some light cruisers, I guess I've already made it. The Raleigh, Chicago, Baltimore. So 4 light cruisers. I'll add these names in. So otherwise, thanks for watching, and until the next episode, take care.